Table or truth?
Welcome for another episode of Table for Truth. What's on your radar, Mr. Tyson?
A conspiracy theory that I like.
You got
I don't believe it, but I like.
Conspiracy theory that you like, huh?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No.
And would you like to hear about it?
Yes, I would like to hear it.
Okay. During the fourth debate for the Republican Party.
The infamous Vivek crushing everybody debates, yes.
When you say Vivek crushing everybody, what do you mean by that?
I mean, it was just good comedy. I mean, a lot of people think our show's kind of comedic. This was just good mints. Like Vivek challenging both Nikki Haley and, oh my God, why can't I, Christie? Both name 3 freaking provinces in Ukraine that you are trying to justify, sending aid there to continue the war. I'm not Nikki Haley and I'm not Christie. Okay? Chris Christie, sorry. Is it Chris Christie? Am I thinking the right?
Yes.
So I'm not running for office. So forgive me, folks, if I don't know the names of 3 provinces in Ukraine. Well, actually, that's not true. Crimea is a province, is it not?
But what's your point?
Okay, my point is that they couldn't name 3 of them when Vivek put him on the spot, and he said, "Look, if you guys really want to create a war that could cost the lives of thousands of people in this area, and all you were doing is just pushing a button like a video game, and just being like, let's just send a bunch of troops there. Who cares about the death casualties?" He pointed out a very good point. At least know the infrastructure, the geography of the place that you're about to allow a bunch of people to get slaughtered at the convenience of these high-stake games of world domination.
Well, you know what you just told me.
I told you at least... Okay, please continue. Sorry.
No, I just asked, do you know what you just told me?
Yeah, I didn't tell you...
No, your message...
Okay, go ahead.
And forgive me for throwing out more of a rhetorical
No, fine. All right, fair.
But what you just told me was that you did not watch the 4th Republican debate.
No, I didn't see the full thing.
Right.
You're absolutely right.
And the reason why I came to that conclusion...
Do you want to know why I didn't see the whole thing?
No, it wasn't that. When you say sound bites and not watch the whole thing, that's the great thing about sound bite. You can pick out edits.
No.
Or if you get sound bites, let's say from Fox News, where did you get your information?
That's fair. That's a very good point.
If it was from Fox News, you are singing the songs of people
100%
who have an agenda.
in agreement, except for this. Within that soundbite that also had a visual, the real thing that spoke 1,000 words wasn't the soundbite so much as Nikki Haley's deer in headlights look response. And if anybody that understands body language could tell she was caught off guard.
Now we're in the body language.
Yeah.
What you did not see, because again, this soundbite was...
Well, I saw Chris Christie trying to defend Nikki Haley.
And I thought that was
very white knight noble.
That was an honorable
cheesy
move.
But it kind of downplayed the whole idea that, it's like, I'm sorry to bring this up, but it was her words, not anybody else. It takes a woman, right, to get the job done. Am I misquoting here? Please forgive me if I'm not misquoting.
No, it was.
Is that right?
If it wasn't quoted,
okay.
It was,
now, on behalf of
all
all feminists out there, including myself, I think it downplayed Nikki Haley's empowerment card, if you will, for Chris Christie to have to speak on her behalf. She should have been like, no, Chris,
no,
I got it.
No,
I don't need your help on this one.
I'm going to give you an example of why that doesn't work.
What?
If I'm driving and you are a pedestrian and I'm going through the parking lot of a supermarket or a strip mall, and I stop my car to allow you, the pedestrian, to cross in front of me, and then you wave me on, I'm not happy because I took the time to stop for you, and then you're just going to wave me on and then roll by me. You should accept my offer
if I didn't know you and I didn't know the stakes at play here, then yes. But if I'm Chris Christie, right, and I understand Nikki Haley's one of her biggest trump cards, if you will, no pun intended, is to prove. I don't think she should have to. I mean, her being able to get up there on stage shows that she has some competent leadership skills. Now, in all fairness, if you're going to get up there and debate with like the wild boars that are the jackals that are basically verbally jousting against you, it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. But at the end of the day,
oh really? Vivek came up twice,
right,
and
which
talked about
then
her
reinforces
and her high
right.
heels.
So then Nikki Haley responded, "I have 5-inch heels," and she also responded. So she kind of fed into it too. It takes a woman to get the job done. I get that. Okay, fine, fair enough. Although in reality, I don't think it matters whether you're a man or a woman as long as you're a competent leader. Okay,
no,
but let's just say for the sake of
what
argument,
Christie was saying was that it was not fair game. His attacks were personal, saying that she's an idiot. And you can say a lot of things about Nikki Haley, but Nikki Haley is not an idiot. And that's,
but Nikki Haley can say that. Nikki Haley is not idiot is un-idiot enough to be like, I actually know that. Let me give you a really witty comeback, right? If you're up there on stage, okay,
and
you're trained in the verbal martial arts.
She didn't have various to have him
chokeholds.
It was about Christie. Christie had enough, and let.
What does he care? He's going against her, isn't he? Or unless they're in cahoots somehow.
No,
is that just my conspiracy theory brain going?
Vivek, and as he had said
he wasn't
in that debate that if they had taken a vote, Vivek would be the number one
people's champion in that
disregarded. Or
of course, because none of the so-called cool kids in the cafeteria can deal with somebody that actually
it's not
puts them in their
that.
place.
It's again his condescending attitude.
Yeah, fine. They condescend right back at him.
Let's get back to the original point that you were making. You were in error because you did not watch as I did.
Okay, folks,
the whole debate, and she did. She did name at least 4 providences.
Why didn't she name them right then and there?
She did. You saw
why
a
did
soundbite.
Her body language? Okay,
body
let me ask you this.
I love when people bring up body language who has no clue what someone is thinking.
To be fair, okay. When did she name the provinces? After a commercial break?
No.
After she put an earpiece on and started nodding to the earpiece and going, okay, Crimea, got it.
No.
No? She did it right afterward.
Immediately. Yes. Vivek was still talking while she was naming off the 4 or 5 provinces that she did. You didn't see that because you didn't watch it.
Okay.
And so you take, again, out of context, BS that Vivek was pushing. And I'm not just blaming you.
Okay.
I
guess you'd have to blame
Fox News will show instead of showing things in context. And if they are a quote-unquote news organization, they would have shown that part in which Nikki Haley said providences in the...
Shall we take a break and study this for the sake of the crew here, for the listeners? Because to be fair, I want to see this in a little bit more fullness. Okay, and again, this wasn't like my talking point for the show today, by the way, like bringing up the debates. I believe you brought this up, so I hadn't had time to look at the primary debates, the debates right away in their fullness. You're right, I did get highlights of them, and as anything, they may be impartial. The thing that I got, though, I still can't make concessions for in my head is why did she look so confused and bewildered when he did that? Yes, it's insulting, but like if you were to say something about me, go ahead. Talk smack about me right now. Watch what happens. I'm not going to fight you. I'm just saying.
Okay. You're too short in order to work where you work because you can't see over the counter.
Yeah, but I have good leaps right away. I'll be very fine for that. Plus, I can go around the counter. Okay, I can stand on my tippy toes or stand on a chair. And if that really is the reason you discriminate coming up to my store and refusing to do business with me because I'm too short, okay, all I got to do is just literally, again, stand on a chair, okay? I have a rational discussion as to why in the world that would actually get you to not want to rent a said object from my store, right? And when all said and done, if you can't make concessions for that counterpoint right away, what does that say about you?
Nikki Haley has and can.
Wait, no, we're talking about you talking
herself.
smack about me and me being able to defend myself right on the spot.
You told me to throw something at you.
Yeah, and I just showed the audience that I can do it right away. So why couldn't Nikki Haley do this right away in a
Nikki
debate?
Haley has proven that she has.
It took her a while, plus a little coercing
from
from
a while. And one of the things is
from
Vivek won't shut up.
No, he won't shut up, but he makes.
So how does it help the audience when two people?
It keeps him from falling asleep for
yelling
one thing.
back and forth.
That's fair, but Chris Christie was not necessary because I believe if she's as good as they claim, she should have been able to respond right then and there and just been like, "Hey, Chris, I appreciate it. I got this one." I would have done that. I've done that before.
But why?
Why? Because the thing's directed at her. He doesn't have to defend her.
It wasn't about necessarily just defending her, because he went after all three, particularly that they all raised their hand to say that they would support the primary winner, even if they were indicted. Which, from some, that's problematic right there.
Well, that shouldn't be problematic. That should just be like, okay, fair loser, right? Like in that sense, that's noble, right? Not being a sore loser, just being like, yeah, you know what, touche, well played, sir. Right? At the end of the day, we're still friends. In theory, we'll buy each other a beer at the Ritz-Carlton across the street.
No, but what Christie did was call out Vivek for, again, instead of arguing his points on her policy or lack thereof, he went personal, which in Christie's opinion, that he crossed the line and he called him out on it. That's
okay,
so simple as that.
I would say this, to be fair, all who did exactly what I did in this case and watch a news clip, because I'm not going to make excuses. Some of us, at certain points in time, if this is like a talking point, we do our research, blah 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 blah.
Research, I watched it.
I didn't watch the whole thing.
There was no research. I watched it.
Okay, I was going to start to watch it. I saw the highlights and I said, "Wow, say no more." I guess that's good enough.
Well, again, where'd you see the highlights? Which
I believe. Okay, to be fair, and this is totally fair. I don't want to.
OAN.
No, it was definitely. I believe there was some Fox News going on there. Mm-hmm. I knew MSNBC would probably just give me some really biased thing about how Vivek is the Antichrist or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember where exactly. The Hill, maybe.
But what my point is that you're going to have millions of Americans.
Yeah, they're going to fall for a soundbite. Yeah.
Right. And I see it, particularly.
So I agree with you, because that's exactly what, you know what, you're absolutely right, because that's exactly what happened to Trump in 2000, I want to say it was 2020, when he said, no, actually it was before that, when he talked about Mexicans, bad hombres coming over the border, and that same soundbite, he said, not everyone. But then the established media took that soundbite, ran with it, and never showed the full thing.
No,
thus
they did.
causing everybody to be like, he's such a racist against
that
Mexicans.
just wasn't good enough. They
didn't initially. I bet you anything we could look up sound bites right now from like various like clips from the MSNBC or CNN, and they did not put that in there. I know that because a lot of people are like, I can't believe he said that. And it was like, no, I saw the whole thing. I think it was like 2016 actually. And it was like, I saw the whole thing, and he did not say it exactly like that. I was like, even then, I was like, they're spinning this a little bit out of proportion. So in all fairness, it happens to everybody because we just can't trust the established media. That's fair. We have to really like dig deep to get the full truth, and that's totally fair. And so, in all truth, confession is good for the soul. So yeah, I'll have to admit to the audience this evening that this time around this week, because of certain things going on over the weekend, I have not had time to like really study the dynamic of this. I had too much producing for other stuff.
That's okay. But I'm just going
to... But by all means...
I just wanted to let you know that I knew you hadn't watched it by your statement.
Well, Tyson went for the technical knockout.
Well, that's because... That's not why I brought up Nikki Haley.
No, it's fair.
But what I was saying was... I was talking about conspiracy.
Yes.
That I can get behind. I don't believe in the conspiracy, but it's something that made me chuckle and it was Nikki Haley who came up with it at the debate. What she theorized was that since Russia was having problems with the war in Ukraine, Putin had been accepting drones from Iran, missiles from North Korea. And so he urged Iran to take the spotlight off of him and Ukraine. So Iran talked to Hamas and had Hamas commit the horrific attacks on Israel on October 7th. And it's like, okay.
This isn't a Nikki Haley endorsed conspiracy theory.
Well, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. So, but let me get to the punchline where
Please.
She just didn't leave it at that. So, you say, okay, that's a stretch that Putin talked to Iran to get the heat off of him. And so Iran talked to Hamas, says, yes, let's attack on October 7th. And then what
a card.
Do you know whose birthday is on October 7th?
Friend of mine in Oregon? I don't know.
Putin. Putin turned 71 on October 7th.
I thought he was already like 73, but okay.
So that was the coup d'etat, that they all did it on October 7th for Putin. So that proved
now
the conspiracy.
That's one of those weird, creepy ones. Yeah.
But I like that. That made me chuckle. And it was like, and again, Haley brought it up before. That's like, okay, that's a conspiracy theory that I could get behind and I could laugh at and enjoy. I don't believe it, but that was creative, and I appreciate people who are creative.
Now we're out of time for now. We will revisit these topics on our next episode of Table for Truth. Take 5 and take care, everyone. In our last set of ments, we were told that Nikki Haley during the last debate had come up with some masterful comebacks toward Vivek Ramaswamy, who had claimed her to be completely oblivious to the geographic provinces in Ukraine, seeing how she wants to warmonger in the area of Ukraine so much, which everybody that I've talked to was like, whoa, that's a pretty vicious move, but like they were impressed nonetheless because of Nikki Haley's immediate reaction of a deer in headlights where she couldn't respond right away. Chris Christie ended up having a white knight for her and just kind of started going off on Vivek, saying, you leave her alone, as if she couldn't defend herself, which led some of us feminist purists to wonder, well, why? He might have meant well, so nobody's blaming Chris Christie on that. Why didn't she just simply politely go, hey, bud, I got this? And then right then and there respond with the said response that I'm looking for right now all over the internet. I don't find anything. Nikki Haley defends U.S. support in Ukraine. Okay, maybe this is it. No, that was 6 months ago, so that doesn't work. GOP debate. Nikki Haley argue about high heels. That's not it. How come I can't find anything? I don't understand. Where exactly during the debate did she actually make that masterful comeback concerning her knowledge?
You're the one saying masterful comeback.
I mean, that would have been a good comeback.
Comeback. While Vivek was still shouting, she named, again, I believe it was 4, if not 5, different provinces in Ukraine.
Haley, this has got to be on, just even YouTube. Let's see. Nikki Haley names provinces, right? There's got to be something there. I mean, this is only going to help her out.
What do you mean going to help her out?
I mean,
if you had watched the debate, you would have seen
Mojo's story. But has anybody seen this? Where in the debate did she respond, naming the provinces accordingly? Like that wasn't like actually, obviously, as the immediate gut response to Vivek's claim. Like again, if you say something to me that's slanderous, I'm not going to wait 10 minutes to get back to you unless there's a giant line of people screaming in front of me. But if this is aimed towards me during a debate, I'm sure it's all going to actually respond to you right then and there to prove to the world that you don't know what you're talking about.
What you had was 3 people talking at the same time. You had Vivek, you had
Chris Christie,
and you also had Nikki Haley.
Right. The fact that she let Chris Christie speak for her didn't help.
let Chris.
She could have been like, "Hey, Chris, shut up." But
why would she say that?
It didn't
Again,
help.
she's not.
But whatever.
Rude.
We'll give her that.
Or crass.
We'll give her that. But I don't.
Why
see
would you blame her for what Chris Christie says? Chris Christie called out Vivek for being a blowhard. He is a blowhard, and he called him out on it. Plain and simple. That's it.
Okay, but even then, where is her responding? Look, okay, here you go, Mojo. I mean, can you name 3 Ukraine provinces? Let me just look at, before we go to another topic here, because I guess we're all gonna have to do our homework that didn't watch the full debates. You watched the debate, okay, the GOTP debate. Where did you see this? Was it towards the end?
I just told you.
It was right after Chris Christie.
No, it was during that whole episode. Again, the 3 of them ended up, because again, Vivek made it personal and said that she couldn't name things his 3-year-old could.
There is absolutely nothing in the news that seemed to highlight this. I find that very curious, considering that the news is saturated with mostly liberal or establishment-backed media. But okay. We're back for another smashing episode of Table for Truth, going over into the aftermath of some of the talking points we were actually been talking concerning the credibility of Vivek Ramaswamy's accusations towards Nikki Haley and Chris Christie, being unable to name 3 provinces in Ukraine. You may recall a few episodes ago how Vivek had made that claim, and it seemed that nobody had been able to answer to him appropriately right away the very thing that he was querying. Now, my colleague here says that Nikki Haley had actually indeed responded to Vivek's accusations masterfully. And therefore,
I didn't say masterfully.
You didn't say
where do you get?
No,
this
I'm adding
stuff?
a little. I'm adding a little.
Don't add to. You can add to your stuff.
Okay.
Don't add to what I said.
Fair.
I said she named provinces.
When? That's the question. Okay, because if she had done it, if I may, masterfully, she would have done it right away. Just like right now, you defended yourself right now at this very second, right? So what I'm saying is that when Vivek made that troll remark at, I was about to say Hillary, that's crazy, Nikki Haley, okay, I would imagine that she would have responded right then and there and named the 3 provinces in Ukraine to just shut him up, okay? She didn't. At around 25 minutes and 35 seconds into the debate, okay, Vivek had actually made this accusation to Nikki Haley, okay? At around 26:45, Chris Christie starts to defend, okay, Nikki Haley's stance and basically the establishment as well. They keep talking and arguing for another minute or so. Okay, I'm looking at the actual timeline of the entire script. I can send you the links to this if you need it. Okay, and then finally, Vivek says at 28. Okay, so 4 minutes later, roughly, almost 4 minutes later, Vivek responds to Chris Christie's, you could argue justifiably annoyed counter remarks towards Vivek for kind of being a little bit on the D-bag side, but at the same time, he wasn't necessarily yet being proven otherwise that any of these candidates could actually name any provinces in Ukraine. Okay, and mind you, these are people running for office that want to start a war in Ukraine. All right, so around 28:44, if you're paying attention.
That's according to Vivek.
Okay, he says,
they
and I
never
quote,
said, neither Christie nor Nikki Haley said that they wanted U.S. troops in Ukraine.
They're supporting the idea of Ukraine continuously, though, fighting in Russia and sending support to Ukraine, okay?
Yes.
Okay, the point is they're pro-war in Ukraine, regardless of who gets killed.
They're not pro-war.
They're let's start democracy at the expense of thousands upon thousands of Ukrainians.
They're supporting Ukraine against the illegal invasion of Russia.
It sounds very morally upright, but let's continue to go here. At 28:44, so almost 4 minutes into the conversation where Vivek trolls Nikki Haley and says she can't even name 3 provinces. And this is after the camera catches her like a deer in headlights, almost like trying to come up with an answer. And I'm not trying to mock her on that because I get it. Like,
yes, you are.
If we're caught with our pants down, we're caught with our pants.
Now her pants are down.
Well, I'm saying proverbially. I'm not trying to be crass or anything.
No, I understand.
Okay. So when that happens, all right, you're 4 minutes into the debate, okay, and still no response as to any of these provinces, just to shut him up, okay? Because that's probably the easiest way to shut him up.
No,
and they would have gotten a standing ovation.
Nothing will shut up Vivek.
That's both Chris Christie and Nikki Haley, okay? At 29-13, still no response on this. So I'm going to keep going here on the actual script and just see where exactly and what time does Nikki Haley gloriously respond with the provinces in Ukraine. Okay, so so far we're at 30 minutes. I'm probably going to have to fast forward this part of our episode because this could take a while. Nikki Haley says something inaudible around 30 minutes and 10 seconds, but apparently it wasn't enough to answer Vivek's accusations on her. Also something inaudible at 30 minutes and 12 seconds. I'm looking, man. I'm trying to root for it because you're right. Maybe, okay. Let me say, okay, so Chris Christie says something. Vivek says, actually, Crimea is the wrong answer, Nikki, at 30 minutes and 12 seconds. So it looks like she attempted to say something concerning provinces in Ukraine. Okay, fair enough. Now, he claimed it was the wrong answer. I guess maybe a lot of us don't understand what's going on.
In your transcript, it doesn't say what Nikki said?
It says inaudible at 30 minutes and 13 seconds.
Evidently, Vivek heard it because he made a comment about it.
He was right next to her.
What you said was she had no response.
Well, no, but you said she had a response. So I'm waiting to see the response here, and I'm not seeing anything. Although, okay. I think he called Vivek a smartass at 30 minutes and 20 seconds, but that's fair. Let's see. I'm still not seeing anything, bro. Like I don't.
So once again,
let's just be scientists here.
Let's be scientists.
31 minutes, 32 minutes.
What did Vivek say about Crimea? Evidently, it was a response to what Nikki said.
So what are they? Okay,
she was naming provinces.
All right. So why don't you name us the 3 provinces in Ukraine?
No, there's more than 3, man.
Listen, just name 3 of them. Pick 3.
I don't know Ukraine.
Okay, fair enough.
And
so we're even. We're even when it comes to.
We're not even. I never said I could name.
I didn't say I watched the debates when I talked to you, but that's okay.
Well, I knew that by your
fair
response.
Enough. But what I'm saying is that if you were running for president and you were about to insinuate a war in a certain part of the world, I do think
they are not.
That's think that
let's talk.
Vivek's claim is somewhat justifiable. But even then, I'm looking at
his claim is that they are ready to send American sons and daughters over to Ukraine, and no one has said that on the Republican
name
stage.
The actual provinces in Ukraine? I don't see anything here. At 37 minutes, 10 minutes went by. I'm going to have to say we're out of time on that one. I don't know. Like on the script, I'll have to watch the debate live, but as far as I can tell, she didn't answer Vivek's question. I feel like I was a little bit slandered on that last couple episodes.
Slandered? How can we slander when you were wrong?
You said you didn't see it, and I was like, okay, I'll take your word for it. But where the hell did she actually respond with an audible response about the 3 provinces in Crimea?
Foreign policy experience is not the same as foreign policy wisdom. I want everybody at home to know that I was the first person to say we need a reasonable peace deal in Ukraine. Now a lot of the neocons are quietly coming along to that position, with the exceptions of Nikki Haley and Joe Biden, who still support this, what I believe is pointless war in Ukraine. And I think those with foreign policy experience, one thing that Joe Biden and Nikki Haley have in common is that neither of them could even state for you 3 provinces in eastern Ukraine that they want to send our troops to actually fight for. Look at that. This is what I want people to understand. These people she has no idea.
I'm watching right there.
Quiet. Wants to send our sons and daughters and our troops and our military equipment to go fight it. So reject this myth that they've been selling you, that somebody had a cup of coffee stint at the UN and then makes $8 million after, has real foreign policy experience. It takes an outsider to see this through. Look at the blank expression. She doesn't know the names of the provinces that she wants to actually.
She's looking down. You think she'd respond? Okay, so where are we going with that besides reinforcing that she didn't look prepared for an answer?
Let me look prepared for an answer.
It literally looked, physically, she looked like she did not know how to respond to that, when if she knew 3 provinces, she would have just been like, whatever those 3 provinces were, okay, in all fairness. I didn't see it. And I just looked at the script, and even 10 minutes into the script, I didn't see anything that quoted a response that was competent enough to actually, like, just say these are 3 provinces. And that's 10 minutes into the conversation after he made that remark.
Well, you know why? Is because, again, Vivek wouldn't shut up, and she said it in the midst of all 3 of them speaking.
So just yell.
Yell?
Yeah, yell. Just be like, by the way, these are the 3, in case you didn't hear me. I don't understand. That would have been much better of a PR move on her part. But let's give her the benefit of the doubt and just say that, I don't know, I didn't hear it. I didn't see it. I looked at the script, and even about 10 minutes after this argument took place in the debates.
In your...
The website is called...
moderated script.
Rev...
You read where... Vivek said that she got Crimea wrong.
Yeah. Which
meant she said
but
Crimea, right?
Okay, so what are the other 2?
I don't know which provinces.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'm just saying, something sketchy.
There's nothing
Something sketchy, man. Oh.
We take our craft so seriously, I spent 6 years just working on the edits for this particular episode alone. So if this show has found any worth in your favor, share, hit a like, and subscribe. Thank you.